Hello, entrepreneurs. Happy Monday, the first Monday of 2021. I almost forgot what century I was in. My name is Joe DiChiara. I am a CPA coming to you live from downtown Flushing, New York, with the sore throat, obviously, that I didn't know that I had. But I am very pumped up. I'm loving 2021 so far, folks. We're into day 4 of 365. And the first 3 have been, the first 4, 3.5 have been off the charts compared to where I was last year. So I hope the same is true for you. And if it's not, maybe what you should think about is joining us at Mastermind with Joe DiChiara every Tuesday for an hour at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and every Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we go for an hour and a half with my awesome virtual executive assistant, Elizabeth Frederick. And, you know, if you're watching, Elizabeth, thank you for everything you're doing for and with the mastermind group. It's becoming amazing. And if you want to know what I'm talking about, all you got to do is join us for one of those free twice a week sessions. And that's that story. So let me get on with tonight's training, if that's what you want to call it. Some people, you know, sometimes I feel like I'm ranting, but then when I look at it, because it's right here on the screen, I had to put the graphic up to remind myself about what I was going to talk about tonight. And I said, I've been talking about this for years. This isn't anything new. And if you're watching live, give me a hashtag live if you can. If you're watching the replay, give me a hashtag replay, because I was told that does something with the Facebook algorithms. I don't know if that's true, but I'm just an accountant. And if you don't know who I am, like I said, a CPA. But what does that mean exactly? You know, that's one of the questions, because when for years I didn't even want to tell people that I was a CPA, because my perception was then they put me in a box. I became, that guy does taxes. And yeah, I do taxes, but not all kinds of taxes. I specialize in brand new businesses, solopreneurs. Now, I've worked with all different size companies, but you know, I consider myself an expert on setting up a new company, getting all the right paperwork filled out, getting all the ducks in a row, so that you could overcome all of not just the IRS's obstacles, but so that you could overcome the machine's obstacles, because that's what we're really talking about now, folks. This is what it's come down to. So what do I do? Let me just go a little bit deeper into what kind of CPA I am, because there's a lot of things that other CPAs do that I don't do and can't do and won't do. Like an audit. I'll do an IRS audit. I'll do any kind of government audit, because I've done hundreds of them, maybe thousands. I never kept track. But I will not do a financial statement audit. I'm not qualified for that. I don't have the credentials. The New York State credentials, meaning that you have to go through peer review. And I have no need for that. I'm not doing it. So if you need a certified financial statement or a reviewed financial statement, I'm not your guy. But if you just started a side gig or have a small business that you're trying to grow and you're getting all of this resistance and you don't know what the next step is, that's what I help people with. And also the people that have not survived the gauntlet and gotten into trouble with the IRS, Social Security Administration, the state and local governments, because it's not just the IRS, folks. It's not just the IRS. So this is nothing new to me. I've been doing this, the same thing really, for 35 years when I think back. And it's all based on simple bookkeeping and filling out the right forms at the right times and sending them to the right places with the right information. And that's not easy. I can make it as simple as possible. Okay, and this is all about tonight's lesson, which is how does somebody go from an idea to having Apple computer or Microsoft or Starbucks or McDonald's? Because they all started out as solopreneurs just with an idea. And if you go back and you reverse engineer every one of those situations, one thing is for sure, not one of them could do it on their own. Not one single successful business owner has ever done it all on their own. So what did they do? How did they get from the idea to a solopreneur to an actual business? Forget about, a public company listed on the stock exchange, because the truth is that that's pie in the sky thinking. That happens only a few times a century for a handful of people. But to be successful, you don't have to get to that level. But you could still follow the same type of organizational structure, because all of those companies, those big companies, they ran the gauntlet. They got through this part that most people can't. And what am I talking about, this part? So when you decide to start a business and you actually start doing stuff, okay, and you get to the point where you got to register with the IRS or the Department of Labor, or you got to get insurance, you're in the machine, and it's like a paper shredder. That's what it's like for people that have never operated a paper shredder before. It's impossible. It's impossible to do yourself. So example, I just got a client, an existing client, blindsided me with a a call with, and as soon as he called, I'm on speakerphone, and it's with somebody that he wants to hire. And he took it upon himself because he saw what I did with setting him up as an S-corp. And it seemed easy, I guess, because he was, once I got the real purpose of the call, I actually got pretty upset with him. I didn't let him know. I let him know afterwards, but he had me on a call with the guy that he wanted to hire as an independent contractor, and he was telling him that he should be an S-corp, which is my strategy. But the problem is that he was trying to do it himself online with me on the phone. So he's trying to get me to answer the questions that they were asking. He almost put his friend into the paper shredder. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. He doesn't even know what the difference between an LLC is and an S-corp. Still, after I've explained it to him about 40 or 50 times already. And that's fine. I said, listen, you are an S-corp now. Forget about you. You just do your business. Forget about, you don't have to worry about what tax form we're filing, because I got that. I could show it to you. I could teach you all about it, but it ain't going to do you any good for your business. So the moral of the story is you want to run the gauntlet with your eyes open. You don't want to go into it with the blindfold on. And one of the things that needs to be done, and like I've been talking about, maybe I wasn't talking about it 35 years ago, but I was learning about it because S-corps were around before I started. And that was the normal way to handle a new business. When you're in the CPA environment, we did it automatically. But what I've learned, once I broke out of that bubble, what I learned, folks, is that there are 25 million sole proprietors out there that don't know about the paper shredder. They don't know. They got blindfolds on. And all they're thinking about is, I have an idea for a business and it's going to change everything. But once those notices start coming, once you get into that machine today, it is worse than ever in some ways. And in other ways, it's going to be better than ever. But tonight, what I want to tell you is what's going to be worse and what you can expect. And I'll give you a couple of just recent examples to prove my point. The machine has been put on autopilot. Okay? When you get a letter, that is not coming from a person. I'm not even sure if a person ever even reads the stuff going out and reviews what's actually like the issue, and maybe the information is there to be resolved. That ain't happening. They're on AI just like everything else. But their system was broken before, folks. The IRS, as bad as they weren't really that bad. The way I look at it, I mean, they are just an administrative vehicle, an underfunded administrative vehicle for the politicians really to do what they think they're supposed to be doing. So that's what the machine is. So what's happened because of COVID, just like, it's affected every other part of everything, it knocked them out completely. I mean, they were bad. The system was fractured before. And I'm not just talking about the IRS. I'm talking about any government agency, because that's just the way it is. I've never heard, I don't know that much about running the government, but as far as I could see, I don't see any of the agencies saying, hey, we got a surplus. We got more than enough money to do what we need to do. They're all asking for more money. And now they got 6 months of complete shutdown. Maybe not 6 months, but even 3 months of a complete shutdown. And they will never, ever be able to recover from that. It's not possible. So what's happening now is a machine that is underfunded, doesn't have enough oil to run, it's overheating, and they programmed it. They said, listen, machine, you're going to just spit out letters and notices for money that's due. And if they don't owe the money, they'll just tell us, and then we'll fix the information in you. So what's happening now is my clients, actually not so much my clients, because I've already got the machine under control. What's happening with small businesses is they are at an even greater disadvantage now, because just something, and I'll give you an example, as simple as registering for payroll, where you have to go to 2 different, in North Carolina, you got to register with the withholding division. And then once you get an account number, you have to register with the Department of Labor for unemployment. So there's 2 registrations, and you can't do the second one until you've done the first one. So we did the first one, and then you get a message saying you will get your account mailed to you within 7 to 10 days. Okay, so we can't do step 2, but we're starting payroll in January. So we did this like on December 20th. So we were like, okay, so we should get this in, no problem. We never got the account number. So now I have to call them, and they don't have anybody. They're understaffed. So my message goes to voicemail, because I'm just looking for the account number to register for the unemployment. We can't run the payroll because Gusto, our payroll company, is asking us for these numbers. We're going to figure out a workaround. But the point is now that, I know the system. I know what has to happen, when it has to happen. But a regular business owner does not know, can't know these things. And if you're a business owner and you know this, then there's a problem with that too, because you have too much information. So because they're underfunded, understaffed, they didn't process the first application. It got processed. I mean, we're in their system, because I got a phone call, because what I did was I went and tried to process it again. I said, well, maybe something happened, and I just put, and then I got a phone call, and they said, Joe, you're already registered. And they left a 10-minute message explaining Nothing until at the end, at like 9 minutes and 50 seconds, she gave me her name and return telephone number. Called today, got an answering machine. Okay, now I'm giving her my number again and saying, please, all I need is the account number. Here's the point, folks. In normal circumstances, this should be 1, 2, 3. This is a simple thing that's done thousands of times a day. You know, in North Carolina, everybody that has a new business has to register. So this isn't like I'm the only one that has done this. So the system's broken and it has a ripple effect. I'm spending time, you know, my client can't run the payroll the right. We're going to have to fix it later on. That's a problem. The state of California needs to be called out. And I'm almost out of time, but this is a good way to end this. The state of California, I think, needs to finally be called out on what is going on there. My clients are telling me that they are getting rudeness, outright, you know, when they call the state to resolve a tax problem, they are getting nasty people with a bad attitude. And that's not what their job is. If they're answering that phone for the government agency, they are supposed to be there to resolve the issue, not to come down on a taxpayer that has a problem. But the real problem here is that it starts at the top. Okay? The California machine is beyond bankrupt. Okay? And so my experience is, and I've mentioned this before, I have 4 clients that all filed their extensions on time with the right payment. I got confirmation on my end as the preparer that the extension went through and it was accepted. And they got financial confirmation that the taxes were paid. 4 of them were sent notices saying that they never filed an extension and that the money was not paid. That is not a coincidence, folks. So it's time that somebody started talking about what is going on in the state of California, because that should be freaking illegal. It should be illegal what is going on there. And that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. So I hope this helped a little. If it scared you, it's supposed to. I would not do this myself. Okay? No way should anybody try to register their own business based on whatever information they're getting out there. So anyway, I'm over. Joe DiChiara, CPA. That's my story. I'm sticking with it. God bless. I will talk to you tomorrow with some more rants and raves. Thank you.